Hey guys, welcome to TJ's Kitchen. For today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to make this salted caramel cake with a croquembouche on top. Let's get started. So the first thing that I'm doing is taking my 6-inch cake, and with it inside of its cake pan, I'm going to be cutting off the top of the cake. This is actually a really good way to make sure that you get a really flat top on it. And then what I did was just flipped it over and put it onto my cake stand and cut it in half. And I did this to another 6-inch cake so that there was 4 layers of cake in total. I will have all the ingredients and things that I used on my blog tarajoan.com, so you could check that out. So to start the cake decorating, I'm just going to place a little bit of salted caramel buttercream onto my cake board. Then I am placing on one of the 6-inch cake layers and putting on a generous amount of buttercream. This salted caramel buttercream is awesome, so I wanted to make sure I got a lot of it in the cake. And then I put on my second layer of cake. Then filled it with buttercream. Did the same with the third layer until you got to the top layer, and with the top layer you're just going to do the crumb coat, which is just a thin layer of icing just to catch any crumbs, so then when you do the final layer it won't show through the cake. The thinner your crumb coat is, the faster it cools in the fridge. And also just make sure to smooth off the sides. Then put it in the fridge for at least 20 minutes, or you can put it in the freezer for about 5 minutes. Just make sure that it's nice and firm before you start your next layer, which is the final layer. I'm just going to place a generous amount of buttercream on the top of the cake. Don't worry, I'm scraping back most of it. Flatten out the top at first with your spatula, and then start to make your way down the cake, making sure to get any little patches of holes or anything, because those will show when you scrape back your buttercream. Then just take your bench scraper and scrape it against your cake. If you see any holes or cake showing through, then just apply more buttercream and scrape it back. And keep doing that until you get a nice smooth surface. And also smooth off the top of the cake. And then put that back in the fridge for at least 15 minutes. While it is in the fridge, we are going to be making the caramel for the croquembouche. So first I am just putting some sugar and water into a pot. And once you start to see little bubbles, take some water and a pastry brush and brush down the sides of the pot. This will prevent any crystallization in your caramel, which will ruin your caramel at the end. So just keep it on a high heat until you get this nice deep golden color, and then turn it off the heat. So what I just did is I took some parchment paper and dipped my fork into the caramel sauce and just put it back and forth really quickly so that you get these little lines. And then let that cool until it is hardened. Now, once your cake is done in the fridge, just place on your cream puffs into a tower shape. I have a video showing you guys how to make cream puffs. I will leave that in the link down below. And then just decorate it with the caramel. To finish off this cake, I'm just doing a salted caramel drip on the side, which I thought looked really good. I first did it with a parchment paper cone, but I actually hate using that method, so I switched it over to just a plastic bag and made the salted caramel drip. And I thought that it looked really cool and it tasted amazing. You also want to make sure that some are larger and smaller drips so that they don't look all uniformal. And that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then give it a thumbs up and subscribe to TJ's Kitchen. I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.